Gather round, one and all, for I'm about to spin a yarn for you. A yarn full of really bad choices, a fun video game, and a reason why there hasn't been any gaming content on this channel for a while. For those of you that have been here for a long time, first of all, thank you. I'd like to think that the videos I do here are making someone, somewhere, think about chuckling quietly to themselves. You know, in the way we all do when writing laugh out loud or rolling on the floor laughing. Second of all, you'll recall that I occasionally did gaming content, mostly going through the 3D GTA games. The idea was to work through them before going through the clones. Fantastic, bizarre artifacts that they are. However, even before doing all of those, the one that I really wanted to do was GTA 5. Just exactly how many hundreds of thousands of hours of GTA 5 footage have been uploaded to YouTube? Between its long life, sustained popularity, and the enormous amount of content that Rockstar has added to it over the years, this has got to be one of the most trodden content creation paths. Entire channels have upload GTA 5 content as their business model. Me? I've played through the single player a couple of times. Enough for the flaws of the writing to bury most of the good things I have to say about the story. Rockstar's savvy business moves to ensure GTA 5 is one of the most profitable games of all time didn't much endear it to me either. But it's an interesting time to talk about the franchise. With Leslie Benzies, Laszlo Jones, and Dan Houser leaving Rockstar, GTA 5 can really be considered the end of an era. The capstone on a house that started construction on the heady, edgy days of the pre-9/11 world. With the three most influential people on the franchise gone, the changes in tone and story for the upcoming game will be immediately apparent, good or bad as they may be. Most of my 5 playthroughs follow the same route. Smart, freighter, covert, subtle, death wish. For some reason, none of the other choices seem quite right to me. And because that particular set of decisions are about as expected as the sunset, I figured that I needed a different approach for a video. If not on how to play the game itself, then the angle that I'd take talking about it. In this case, making the playthrough not so much about the game itself. It's been a decade. Everyone on the planet who is aware of GTA 5 and interested in playing it knows the story by now. At any rate, the angle was supposed to be the development of the game, from the hype and the trailers, through the bullshit triple dipping and broken promises of single-player DLC, all the way to the inevitable trimming of branches nullifying choices from the main game. The GTA 6 trailer was still hot at the time I started writing it, and so I also thought I'd add a little piece on the script on how all of that was already influencing 6. After all, setting it in the present means that you get to recycle many things from online with a minimum of fuss. Not to mention all of the difficulties you run into trying to reframe online mechanics to the 80s setting that Vice City was known for. With so many strong opinions and my familiarity with both the game and the business nonsense that usually goes on corporate boards, writing the script was easy. This video in fact has chunks of that script sprinkled throughout. Alongside the script came the video footage. That's where the problems start. As with previous reviews, I wouldn't just play the vanilla version. A couple of mods really helped the game in 2024. Visual 5 for the graphics, 4-pack for additional vehicles, a trainer for the occasional vehicle spawning because it came with scripthook, through which all of this stuff is bolted to the game. I'd used these mods without any issues before. This time? Crashes. Lots of them. I'd blame it on AMD weirdness, but it hardly seemed fair with the amount of stuff I bolted to my vanilla experience. Not to mention the reeing of seething AMD fans surrounded this channel for even suggesting that AMD drivers haven't been getting a lot better since 2016 or so. Best of all, it only seemed to crash when I dared go around Vinewood. Not an important area of the game. At all. With time though, I collected the footage and stored it on a hard drive dedicated to it, as at the time my poor PC simply didn't have the storage for decent quality footage. Naturally, I was halfway through the game when I realized that I'd set up OBS in such a way that I had captured hours of beautifully rendered, high bitrate black screens. Between it and other things that I wanted to do, this video took a back seat. But then, haha! Second wind! More gameplay, more crashes, more checks to see if the footage was actually being saved. And it was! Before I knew it, I added yet another full run of GTA 5 to my list. Not 100% though, madness lies therein. Footage and script done means it's time for editing. I imported some footage into DaVinci Resolve and it promptly keeled over and died. Then it did it again. Then it did it again. Then it did it again, but this time I had the foresight of having Resource Monitor open. At which point I realized that my poor computer took one look at the footage and promptly noped at my attempts to edit it. There was nothing for it. I'll have to remux these clips, a slow task made slower by spinning Rust and a USB connection. And, of course, sometime around the FIB heist, the USB enclosure decided it wanted to be a beautiful polished aluminum brick. As far as my computer was concerned, it was looking at a brand spanking new drive. Wouldn't you want to format it? No, you fool! Weeks of footage are in there! All through this I have other videos in the pipeline. I love the scripting and the recording of videos, especially when it involves me playing a video game. But the part that really makes this fun for me is the editing. If I may use the puzzle analogy, it's like doing a puzzle that has infinite ways to be solved. Not to mention that the iron gets cold if you get distracted. Thus, the GTA 5 video went on the back burner, with me finding software that would recover data from null file systems and slowly getting the videos and remuxing them. All of it went back to the hard drive on its nice new enclosure, ready for me to edit. Finally, it was all ready. The day to get to edit this thing once and for all was upon me. I took the enclosure out, left it on the table, turned around, and then... Unless you are part of a demolition crew, glass shattering will inevitably elicit horror. The crunch of a vehicle failing to stop will do the same anywhere but a demolition derby. The sound of that hard drive hitting the floor was every bit as scary for me as any of those. Hard drives have always been fickle, and it doesn't matter if they're off. There's always the chance that something important is going to get scratched, dented, or bent. And sure enough, plugged up the hard drive and... nothing. Everything on that hard drive was gone. For real this time. I started writing this script that day. And so here we are. The ultimate miracle of recycling. A failed review following me around for months, trying desperately to stop its own existence, recycled and renewed into a vlog. And even on this one there's pain, because I had forgotten that I'd uninstalled GTA 5 months ago. This footage that you're seeing required me to install the thing and set it up all over again. I guess the universe decided it didn't need quite that much GTA 5 content.